delicious, refreshing, prime.
Not sponsored.
But please, you can be Logan Paul. I know you're watching. Hey, Jacob, welcome to the 66th edition of the Countdown, where we talk about some of our favorite movies. You know, this brother show, a show about trivia that you can watch, that stuff that just aired just now. We're not just doing a year. We're not just doing like one genre. We're doing all the genres of all the years that took place in the 2010s. This is the entire decade, 2010 to 2019. Wait, right? I hope I got that right.
2019, yes.
So how are you, my friend, and why the 2010s?
I am doing well. Getting a little tired, but that's okay. I'm still excited to be here and talk these movies. I don't know. It just was like I haven't done a decade yet on Countdown. We've always done years, or it's always been very specific. And I was like, let's broaden it and see, you know, just how hard this list could be to come up with. And this list was hard, but I have 15 great movies here.
Now, this was easily very hard. I mean, every year I see, at least since I don't even know when, sometime in the 90s, 100 plus movies a year. A couple of these years, maybe even past two, possibly, or close to it. So hard to narrow it down to just 10/15 of the decade, but we did it. What is your honorable mentions? Basically, your 11 through 15.
Yeah, so you might not like this because it's not going to be like my actual 15, but I wanted to shout out a documentary that I just absolutely loved. So at 15, I do have Won't You Be My Neighbor. I think it's a great insight and great look into Mr. Rogers. 14 through 11, these all hurt not to make the 10, but cuts had to be made. So at 14, I have The Raid, great foreign action movie, great fight scenes, action from start to finish, fantastic. 13, I have Whiplash, J.K. Simmons, absolutely deserved that Best Supporting Actor win, and in my opinion, it could have been Best Picture for 2014. Mad Max Fury Road at 12, fast-paced action from start to finish, just about. And at number 11, I have Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1. Low expectations going into the movie, but it absolutely blew me away. And one of my favorites in the MCU.
Sorry, I spilled marinara on my foot, but that's besides the point. First of all, what did you say at the top that I might be upset? I'm not at all. I love
it. It wasn't actually my number 15, but I wanted to shout out the documentary and show it some love.
You know what? That movie's so damn good and so beautiful. Like, I don't mind it, and I'll even kind of like piggyback off of it. It's so good. For my honorable mentions, right outside my list, I have Ex Machina, great sci-fi flick with Oscar Isaac. Love to see him dance. Paddington 2. I don't joke when I say I love this series. I said it the other day, I think to maybe John, like, we unironically love this series. That's kind of the joke in Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's truly a good movie. Let's see, Prisoners. I know we both have some love for Prisoners here. Great. What Would You Do for Your Kids? Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal movie. Short Term 12. I absolutely fell in love with. It's more of a recent watch too. Brie Larson gives her, I think, easily her best performance to date here. It's about kids that are troubled kids and about abuse and trying to recover from that, even in later years too. This is a really good turn with Larson. I think it's just a great movie here. And I actually kept it very minimal. My only MCU shout out will be actually here in the honorables, not even in my top 10. That's Avengers Infinity War. I've always thought Infinity War is the more exciting, cohesive movie versus Endgame for me personally. So yeah, other honorable mentions for our buddy Chris Diaz. He throws in Avengers Endgame. He mentions Won't You Be My Neighbor, Mad Max Fury Road as well. He's with you, and Paddington. So what you got at number 10?
Paddington's would have been an honorable to the honorables. That's how good the decade is. Yeah. At number 10, probably my favorite zombie movie, another Korean movie here, Train to Busan. I absolutely love this movie. It's another one. As soon as the action starts, it does not let up. I love the relationship between father and daughter here. spoilers. Sacrifice he makes. towards the-
You're hard to hear all of a sudden.
How about now?
Perfect.
Okay, sorry. It could have been my computer. It's getting old, but yeah, the father. I love the growth that he has as not just even in this. Just it sucks that it takes a zombie outbreak to do this, but yeah, and then that ending when her and the lady that they meet on the train walk through that tunnel, and she's singing that song. It's heartbreaking, but yeah, just look at this. And once this starts, like it does not let up for until the end of the movie, and it's awesome. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend it. It was streaming on Netflix. I don't know if it still is, but um, check it out sooner rather than later.
No, this is a great pick here. Yeah, not on my list personally here, but not probably far from it. I love this movie as well. You mentioned it, all the good stuff in it, including that ending. I'm a big, and I'll mention kind of some of my movie endings too later on. I'm a big like man, if they're ending and you nail it, sometimes that really gives you like bonus points for me here, and they actually really do nail the ending of this movie as well. And our buddy Chris throwing out the Big Sick, really good movie with Kumail Nanjiani,
Another good one,
based
yeah.
on some true life stuff here. Yeah, just did actually rewatched that for the first time in a long time, actually recently, and it held up. It was good. Coming in at my number 10, Spike Jones flick. I got Her with Joaquin Phoenix here. Movie that has always kind of like stuck with me over time. 2013, so we're talking about 9 years ago, almost a decade here, and still a very timely movie though. Here, as the initial premise is not too long in the distant future, this AI is, next level here, and she kind of, succumb to all your needs here, and it's voiced by Scarlett Johansson, which she does a great voice work here. I guess evidently a replacement of the original actress as well, so you kind of tell like they've had a lot of care into this movie here. Joaquin Phoenix is great as just a nice guy, but he's just kind of lonely here, and it's got some really good like organic twists and turns, and yeah, just it's a movie that I really kind of fell head over heels for. Head over clicking robotic heels. What you got at number 9?
So before we move on, I finally saw Her, and maybe it was overhyped for me because I thought it was good, but that's about as far as it goes for me. I think there's some good performances. I do like Scarlett Johansson's voice performance, but it didn't quite hit that next level for me. But I'm glad you love it as much as you do.
I love it. Yeah.
Maybe I need to rewatch it. I don't know. Maybe I just went
Give
into
us
it
give us some
too
time.
high
I
of
thought it kind of
expectations.
yeah. You pulled the Zach Shelton. I got you.
Don't you do that. Number 9, I have Straight Outta Compton. I absolutely love this biopic here about the rap group NWA. I think O'Shea Jackson Jr. absolutely kills it playing his father, Ice Cube. Paul Giamatti as Jerry is so good. Paul Giamatti can do no wrong, in my opinion. Just their rise as a group, and then they're kind of falling out, and the different beefs that they had. I think the story is told really well. It's like a 2.5, 2:45 or something like that biopic, but like you don't feel the runtime. I think the story moves along pretty nicely, and I think I appreciate that they gave each specific member, each not sorry MC Ren, you didn't get as much, but like Ice Cube, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, they all got their moments, they all got their time, and yeah, some fantastic performances. And the fact that this was O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s acting debut is incredible. Um, uh, he absolutely knocked it out of the park. So yeah, I absolutely love this movie.
No, it's another really good choice here. Yeah, I did this one as well. Not quite as much as you, but definitely well worth checking out here. Yeah, everyone seems to be very good true performances. I'm surprised. Some of the other actors I think haven't blown up as much as I kind of thought they would here. The guy that plays Easy, I think is great and whatnot. And is it the same year Paul Giamatti is also the asshole manager for the Beach Boys guy? Like he's really good at being a shitty manager. Love the Giamatti. My number 9. Not too much of a surprise that it's on anyone's list here. I got Parasite coming in at my number 9 here. kind of helped, at least in America, put Bong Joon Ho on the map. So he's now become one of those directors, and now like, hey, probably for the rest of his life, even if he pulls like an M9 and like some movies don't always work, we'll probably be always interested in what he's going to do for the rest of his life based on some of his works like this. Just again, first of all, sometimes, because I don't watch that many foreign films, I think sometimes it kind of helps when I do find a really good one here because I don't know any of these actors for the most part. The data, they kind of look familiar. But because you're really just sucked into this story, everything that's going on here, and again, just all the twists and turns, the organic ones, the crazy ones, all really work here as well. Here, the dialogue's good, it's shot wonderfully, just a really well made film here. It is when it kind of passes the into like I said, America here, because these films, even really good ones here, get overlooked. And this was one that just constantly was just knocking at the door and saying, "You got to watch me, you got to watch me." Everyone coming in out in droves to appreciate it. What you got at number 8?
Number 8. By the way, Parasite, number 16. Again, that's how good this decade is. Number 8, I have Toy Story 3. I waited 11 years. I waited for this movie, and I think it was if this was where they ended it, I thought it would have been perfect. This is kind of like the end of Andy's story, and I think it's a really fitting ending. And sure, you know what? I was 20 when this movie came out, but I think they hit some mature themes in this movie, and it's that incinerator scene, the end when Andy's giving his toys away. I think it hit some really good emotional beats. I think the voice cast is fantastic, as always. I think Lotso is a great villain. I think you understand where he's coming from. And yeah, beautiful animation as always. It's great to see them all back. Don't know what Toy Story 5 is going to give us, but you know what? Pixar loves to make that money and cash in on what they can. So, but if it's as good as 4, like there hasn't been a bad Toy Story movie in my opinion. I think it's fine. But Toy Story 3, like I don't know. It's up there with 1, up there with 2. Like those first 3 are all fantastic. That's a great teaser trailer there.
Draft Day by Brad News. For Midnight Running the Perfect Trilogy. Yeah, I love that trilogy here. It's a good choice as well. Trilogy. Yeah, get to it. And I'd do it, watch the first one, give it about 10 years, like the actors, and watch the second one. But I will give it some time. That's what I like about it. I hope they do another one. I hope they just continually get to these actors every, 10 or so years, which we need to do it now then. But I don't think they are. So, but I hope they do another one at some point. Coming in at my number 8, 1917 here. Another movie like, hey, a war movie, all right, I'll see it. I think this is maybe my movie past day, so I was seeing more or less everything here. So I kind of went into it even with good reviews. It's not necessarily always what's up my alley here, but Sam Mendes, I think, just shot a beautiful movie here. Obviously, there is a bit of a given to the movie in the fact that it's shot to look like it's kind of one take. But I think that really, to me, that it captures, one, it shows the tender care and the beautifulness of the filmmaking here, but also really encapsulated me into the moment here. Like there's seemingly no cuts. And if you can nerdily pick apart, I think there is, because when they went through the wall, I think that was a cut. But when you're just in the moment here, following these two characters who give tremendous performances here, George McKay and Dean Charles Chapman are fantastic here. Kind of like Saving Private Ryan, they even run into other actors you may know a little bit better. Mark Strong, Benedict Cumberbatch here. And there's also just some great scenes. I don't want to give away, the ending or whatnot, but there's a great scene where they finally get to one of the locations and they have to deliver a certain set of news, and it's a great scene it's quiet, but like you feel the emotion going on between the characters here, the bond that they end up forming. Just a beautiful, wonderful movie here, 1917 at number 8. What you got at number 7?
Another fantastic pick. Honorable to the honorable. Had Parasite not come out in 2019, that would have been my pick for Best Picture.
That's a dope double right there.
At number 7, I have The Social Network, the story of Facebook. Jesse Eisenberg here giving a fantastic performance as Mark Zuckerberg. I think you got Andrew Garfield and Justin Timberlake giving one of his better performances. I think he's absolutely fantastic in this. And yeah, just the story of how Facebook came to be, and kind of going back and forth between the courtroom stuff and how Facebook came to be and the kind of the things that Mark did to get it off the ground. I think great performances, great script, great directing. Just a really fantastic movie overall. I think Andrew Garfield should have been nominated for supporting. I think he should have won for supporting, in my opinion. I haven't seen The King's Speech, so I can't speak on this, but this is my favorite movie of 2010. I think is absolutely fantastic. So spoilers, no more 2010 movies on my on my list. You,
No, I'm pretty sure I'm still here. I think I was
oh,
freezing up a little bit. Coming in at my number 7 here, a directorial debut of Jordan Peele, Get Out. Just a tremendous horror flick here. Again, another one that, just by statistics, was able to stand the test of time here from the beginning of the year and somehow stayed on people's minds all the way to Oscars the next year here, which doesn't happen often enough here. Just again another little fun twisty film here. Daniel Kaluuya, they helped kind of put him even more so on the map here. Good character actors, Bradley Whitford, Catherine Keener as the parents. That's kind of what you need. And just some fun twisty tale here. One that still even holds up on rewatches. It's kind of fun seeing it. The first one to kind of see what the hell's going on. The second one kind of now see it from a different lens. It's a tremendous film here, and Jordan's can do no wrong. What do you got at number 6?
I think this might be our first crossover because this was on your honorable mentions. And that's Prisoners.
I thought this might be higher for you.
Yeah, I absolutely love this movie. Hugh Jackman, Jake Gyllenhaal, Terrence Howard, Viola Davis. So there's a great Paul Dano, great cast, and kind of a story of what a father will do to the lengths he'll go to find his daughter. There's some brutal moments here. I think Jake Gyllenhaal and Hugh Jackman have great chemistry. And that ending, like that, what's one of those, kind of choose your own adventure endings at the end. Like what happens? Like it's one of those. And yeah, I think this might be my favorite Hugh Jackman performance. That's not a Wolverine performance. I think he's absolutely incredible. Man, I wish this movie got more awards love, but maybe I put too much stock in it. Maybe I complain about that too much just because the movies I love, I want other people to love just as much. That's a good shout. 3 Billboards is fantastic.
Fucking love 3 Billboards. Great shout out there from Brian. Actually, I forgot to piggyback off of a social number. We had my number 20, so truly an honor roll to the honor roll here. Again, just like you said, repeating what you said, shows you how tight the decade here that it's somehow not on the list, despite being fantastic. I believe we're flip flopping now. Honorable mentions in our top 10. I want to say Mad Max Fury Road. I got it at my number 6 here. Again, put it on as big of a screen as the television you can. I was able to see it on the big screen in theaters, obviously back in the day, and I think that does help because it is truly, I think, a great theater experience as well. Again, I kind of went in with, just tempered expectations here. I like Tom Hardy, action flick. He makes sense to replace Mad Max. That's cool. And the story they were able to tell, it just fucking goes from the get-go here. It's gorgeous. It's thrilling. It's directed well. The action's good. Charlize Theron's fantastic here. I still, fingers crossed, would love to see more of her as Furiosa. That's no knock on the new movie, which I also really loved and also blew away my expectations here. So, yeah, George Miller, please. I know you're not the youngest cat. Please hurry up. Do another one because this is fantastic. And it's way better than that weird Idris Elba Aladdin genie movie that he made. 3,000 Years of Longing or however many years of longing. Do more of these.
There were a lot of years of longing.
Too many longings. We are now in the top half, though, of 2010. What you got at number 5?
And this is where it got really tough because any one of these could have been number one. But ultimately, for number five, I went Spider Man Into the Spider Verse. A fantastic animated movie. I'm a little bummed I missed this one in theaters. I think it came out when there was just other stuff that I wanted to watch, and I was like, another Spider-Man movie. Oh, only this time it's animated. Oh, sure, it's Miles Morales. I'll get to it. We've got a lot of Spider-Man. Boy, was I wrong. I should have seen this one in theaters because it is fantastic. The animation is absolutely stunning. I love the kind of origin story of Miles as Spider-Man, all the different Spider people that we get. Hope to see more of them in the third one, as we kind of saw at that cliffhanger ending for Across the Spider-Verse. Yeah, fantastic voice cast, great characters, great animation. And yeah, I just if the third one is as good as these first two, kind of like you say with Paddington, it could be one of the tightest trilogies that I've seen.
No, it's a great one here. I think I have it at number 40. I think I saw. No, 30. I'm sorry, 30. And again, I'm saying of the decade, so that's not a knock.
Yeah,
even if it was, that's still anywhere from a 4 to a 5-star movie. So I know it's number 30, in fact. So yeah, no, great stuff here. Like you said, another one that just blew expectations. Like you said, all right, cartoon movie, Miles Morales, definitely worthy of being told. But like, oh my god, from the heart to the action. And again, I do recommend, if for some reason it gets re-released, which I imagine very well could someday, maybe for the third one. Yeah, try to see it on the big screen. That is definitely a big recommendation for a big screen watch.
Yeah, I saw the second one opening day, and I was like, I'm so bummed I missed the first one.
Number 5, I know we have some love, I believe, for this as well. I feel like we might agree on this. I feel like it could be on yours, but we'll see. I know you like it. Warrior, I got to put it on my list as well. This movie just, again, hit me right in the feels, right in the heart. Two brothers, Joel Edgerton and Tom Hardy are both, competing in this mixed martial arts tournament here. And so, again, it's one that's like it's hard to root for one over the other here. Their father, McNulty, who kind of did a career reviving, I feel, performance in this as well, is so fantastic. Directed by Gavin O'Connor. We also did some good looking flicks with Ben Affleck, The Accountant, The Way Back. So I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully more of him in the future. Again, just really tremendous tight script here. Some great family moments as well. This one I think it's just tremendous filmmaking here, and probably, correct me if I'm wrong, probably the best MMA movie we've ever had too so far. Because this is Oscar worthy / MMA stuff. So, yeah. What you got at where we at number 4?
So at number 4, I have Warrior.
See, I knew you liked it a lot.
Yeah, I love this movie. I love the performances that you mentioned: Joel Edgerton, Tom Hardy, Nick Nolte. If it was up to me, Nick Nolte would have won for supporting actor. I think he.
I was about to say, did he win? I didn't even remember if he did or not.
He was nominated. Christopher Plummer won for Beginners, which I haven't seen. But,
he's really good. You could say it was one of those like more of a career thing, but he is really good. So I'm not going to hate on that pick. But yeah, Nolte was definitely potentially worthy as well.
Yeah, he was so good. Yeah, and. Shout out Kurt Angle. It's not a speaking role, but you know what? He did his thing. It's good performance for him. And yeah, everything that you said, I am going to agree with, and then one up you because it's one spot higher on my list.
Nah. Had to outdo it there, didn't you? Huh?
And a fantastic movie. How it didn't get a Best Picture nomination is beyond me.
That's a solid question. Oh, didn't? I'm not really confused. Damn you. Coming in at my number 4 now, David O. Russell. Sorry, that's an exact joke. Silver Linings Playbook is a movie that I've always really adored here. David Russell is another guy that I think has made some really great films, or I really also enjoy American Hustle and The Fighter. But this one may be my favorite here yet. Bradley Cooper, I think, from being just like, what is it, like, 10th build and How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days or Wedding Crashers, and Yes Man, he's Jim Carrey's buddy. All of a sudden in 2010 was like, nah, F you, I am a leading man here, because he has some tremendous roles here. This is a great one about a guy who is going through a breakdown. His wife cheats on him. He unfortunately also beat the shit out of the guy she cheated on him with, so he's got anger issues. Meets another girl who's going through her own problems, Jennifer Lawrence, and also maybe her best performance to date here. She's fantastic. Not a false note from Lawrence and the character that she's playing. Just these two broken people coming together to find each other here. Fun team Chris Tucker in a side performance. It's him not trying to be flashy for once too. Kind of makes you wish Chris Tucker would do more just kind of fun like character actor roles as well. Robert De Niro and Jackie Weaver. Is it Jackie Weaver as the parents? I'll just get great stuff here. So my number 4, Silver Linings Playbook. What you got at number 3?
Yeah. I really like Silver Linings Playbook. I've seen it a couple times, and yeah, it's really good. Also, 2012, good year for Bradley Cooper. This was also the year that The Place Beyond the Pines was released, and I really liked him in that one. So number 3, I have Blind Spotting. I absolutely adore this movie. The first time I saw it, I was like, it was one of those where I was like, I kind of want to watch that again, which is rare. That I want to like instantly watch a movie again. Of course, it's Daveed Diggs and Raphael Casal. Daveed Diggs plays Colin, who's out on parole or whatever, and he's just a few days away from being clear. But his friend keeps putting him in these situations where he's not sure if he's going to get the cops called on him or whatnot. And then he witnesses a cop shooting a black man. He ends up spoilers, by the way, if you haven't seen Blind Spotting yet. He ends up, as you can see, he works for a moving company, and he ends up going to the house of the cop that shot the man. And that final scene where he's rapping and the emotion behind it, it's so good. Daveed Diggs gives a tremendous performance here. Raphael Casal does too. I haven't seen the show that spun off from this following. I think it follows Raphael Casal's character, but man, he gives. He's. I'm gonna watch this after the show. Now that I'm talking about this, like I want to watch Blind Spotting again for the 6th or 7th time, instead of a movie that I haven't seen yet. That's how good it is. I would rather rewatch this than watch something for the first time.
No, this is a great flicker as well. Yeah, no knocking from me either. I haven't seen the TV show. Ooh, that's some big words, Chris. I don't know if I ever heard anyone say that. But I haven't seen the TV show. It's more about Casal than anything. I thought it was on Stars, and I looked on the app, but it wasn't on the app. So I don't know where you can find it, if you can. Oh, they only show reruns of Power on the app. Great film there. Coming in at, I was about to end the stream. I just meant to stop sharing, not end the stream. Coming in at my number 3 here is actually agreeing with Chris in the chat. I got Whiplash coming in at my number 3 as well, an honorable mention for you, I believe, from earlier here. 2014. My God, I just, again, adore this movie from watch one. It might be the most watched movie in this top 10 too. It's just something for some reason I go back to, but every 6 months to a year since then, or at least maybe a couple of years, maybe not every year, 6 months, but still I've gone back to it several times, and I'm not the biggest rewatcher out there. But no, I just think it's about the strive of being great here. Again, kind of like Parasite, but even in a more organic way at points. Like there's just great twists and turns, but again, they're very organic twists and turns. Or you're learning about these characters here. J.K. Simmons, who had done the short film previously, obviously got recasted here, got the Oscar here. Really showed that J.K. is one of the best character actors going today here. And Chris actually also mentioned it in the comments too. I was prefacing before. The ending, baby. The ending is something that sometimes I'll watch just so I can get to the ending, or even maybe YouTube just the ending here, because again, another one that has twists and turns and different takes. I love the ending. I think it nails it perfectly. If you want to see just a snippet of the ending, in fact, watch ASAT, any of the September episodes. I have a clip of that, including the final song that they play, which again kind of shows how much I dig it here. Miles Teller is fantastic. He's another guy that kind of really, I think, shown out this spectacular now. Even something like War Dogs, which I don't love, but I think it's a great like character piece. Like, yeah, he's really good. I like Miles Teller a lot. Fan Stick, just kidding. What's your number two?
My number two is, I think it was one of your honorable mentions, Avengers: Infinity War.
Hey,
Yeah, great. We were building up to this for 10 years, and it didn't disappoint. I think what I like most about this is that this was Thanos' movie. We really got to know him as a villain. I think Josh Brolin does a fantastic job as Thanos, and he did such a good job that, when he was dragging Gamora over to sacrifice her to get the stone, I started feeling for him. Like, I was like starting to kind of feel bad for him. I'm like, wait a minute, no, you're trying to get rid of half the universe. You're a bad guy. I should not be feeling sorry for you. It was cool to see all these characters, the different kind of team ups that we got. I think this is probably, in my opinion, Chris Hemsworth's best performance in the MCU. I think he absolutely kills it. All the action, all the fight scenes, and Thanos wins. Like he sets out to do, get rid of half the universe, and he does it. And it made me that much more excited for the second one, which I don't think we knew it was Endgame at that point. But we knew there was going to be a part two. And yeah, it didn't disappoint. The only movie that I have seen in theaters twice in the same day. I went in the morning with a friend, and then some friends were going in the evening, and I said, "Hey, can I tag along?" And they were like, "Didn't you already see it?" And I was like, "Yeah, but it's really good, and I want to see your reactions." So, yeah, it was fantastic. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman.
nah, absolutely. Shout out to our king T'Challa, 100% here. And yeah, I think it's just again, I think it's the better action movie. I think it's the better maybe performances, as you said, within it. Yeah, I really like this one a lot. So I'm glad that we actually agree on that too. That's always a fun debate between MCU fans: is Infinity War or Endgame? My number two here, I guess maybe between Whiplash and this, maybe I just like not great people. I don't know. Wolf of Wall Street, I got Martin Scorsese's Wolf of Wall Street, a long movie that to me doesn't feel long here because you are just enthralled in this horrible, greedy, sex-filled, drug-filled world that Leonardo DiCaprio has built for himself here. From humble beginnings, where he's married to How I Met Your Mother's mother, Kristen Milioti, to finding some girl named Margot Robbie that we have now fallen in love with over time. Again, like even in this early scene with McConaughey, like he's kind of a nice dude that's just kind of trying to make a good living for himself here, and then the greed and everything takes over here. Maybe the best Jonah Hill performance here too. I think he's fantastic as this schlubby guy who meets him kind of randomly and then convinces him to hire him. And he's fantastic as the sub part there here. Kyle Chandler's hot on his case here. So many cameos abound as well. I mean, go on all day about the side cast. John Bernthal, Rob Reiner, John Favreau, Spike Jonze. Hey, he's in this actually too. Ethan Suplee. Yeah, like I said, I love watching this. I love rewatching this. This is a really good one. Greed, corruption. The main character's name is Jordan. That's cool. And am I leaving? I ain't going nowhere. I ain't leaving. What you got at your number one? What is your favorite movie of the 2010s?
If you had to guess, what do you think my favorite movie of the 2010s is?
Let's see. What have we not talked about? What have I talked about? You haven't talked about. You love Star Wars: The Han Solo spinoff.
So close. My number one is Django Unchained. I love this movie. I think Leonardo DiCaprio gives the best performance of his career. I think you can argue that with Wolf of Wall Street. I think there's an argument to be had there. I personally go towards Django. I think he's fantastic. Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, Samuel L. Jackson. I think it's a great. Everyone's giving a top-notch performance. The script is fantastic. Um, I even love that kind of comedic break there with all the other people playing on the hill. That's like a lot funnier than I think it had any right to be. I laugh a lot more. um, but yeah, I think Jamie Foxx is absolutely killing it here. Um, yeah, Quentin Tarantino knocked it out of the park with this one. I haven't seen all his filmography, but for now, this is my favorite Tarantino movie. I think he nailed it with this one. So yeah, Django #1. It's a recent addition to the top five. I absolutely love this movie. It's like actually top 10. Period. I love this movie.
No, it's a great flick here. Yeah, Tarantino, for me, has not made a bad movie yet here, and this is one of his greats, probably the top half. It's hard to say on the cusp, but yeah, this is great here. You mentioned DiCaprio after Glorious Bastards. This helped make Christopher Waltz just a iconic guy. Jamie Foxx, everyone's great in this, man. Even Don Johnson, Samuel L. Jackson's a piece of shit, but he's fun to watch. Yeah, everything's good here. Let's see. Go to the chat.
Your number
here.
one.
Tato loves yoga hosers. Parasite for Chris. Yeah, Jamie Foxx. You take my money. What do you think my number one is, Jacob?
Knowing you and knowing how much you have raved about this movie, I think your number one is A Star Is Born.
Folks, there's a reason he was my best friend 2 years running. Son of a bitch. He knows me better than I know him, evidently. A Star, because I didn't like Django that much. A Star Is Born is correct here. Yeah, again, a great theater watch from the get-go here. I'm already on the Bradley Cooper train at this point here, but again, hey, who knows? Is he going to be a good director? Is he going to be a good writer? Plus, this Gaga girl. I don't think, maybe I saw like one episode of her in American Horror Story. Like, I don't know if I've seen any of her acting here. Now she's a lead, so is this just a Mariah Carey and glitter, piece for her to be in? But no, this movie is, again, everything here is great. The songs are great. Shallow is something I could definitely listen to. In the shallow. The tones of this movie here. I'm a romantic at heart here too, and I love the build here of these two kind of falling for each other, talking, going to the grocery store. I just want to get one more look at you, the nose. I fucking fell for this hard here. And there's so many more themes of this movie too that I really go for here. Whether it's stardom, finding yourself here, love, battling, your demons, the things that you abuse here. It doesn't take it soft either here. Again, speaking of surprising side characters that are fantastic, you got Dave Chappelle, you got Andrew Dice Clay, two comedians that I think are really good in this movie as well. Sam Elliott's got a couple of really good pivotal scenes here. Look at Anthony Ramos. Actually, almost forgot he was in this. I fell in love hard with A Star Is Born. Yeah, Diaz says it's in his top 20. No, it's a hard rewatch, and yeah, like I said, it doesn't really pull any punches, which is something that I kind of respected for as well. So got A Star Is Born. You called it here, Jacob. Your titles were too long, so you had to become a scrolling feature. But if you want to go over your top 10 one more time.
Yes, number 10, I had Train to Busan. Number 9, Straight Outta Compton. Number 8, Toy Story 3. Number 7, The Social Network. Number 6, Prisoners. Number 5, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. At number 4 is Warrior. Number 3, Blind Spotting. Number 2, Avengers of the Infinity War. And number 1, Django Unchained.
I think the D's silent, but all right.
Oh. Django Unchained.
All right, my top 10 of the 2010s. You can follow me over at Letterboxd, JP Owens, J Owens. You also get to look at my extended list here. Hey, look, I have Django at the bottom there. But again, that's not a knock. This is all great movies. My number 10, Her. Number 9, Parasite. Number 8, 1917. Number 7, Get Out. Number 6, Mad Max Fury Road. Number 5, Warrior. Number 4, Silver Linings Playbook. Number 3, Whiplash. Number 2, The Wolf of Wall Street. And number 1, A Star Is Born. Oh, I forgot. I also had Toy Story 3 pretty high too at Social Network. So yeah.
What's next to Django?
Barney's version. Probably maybe the least seen movie on this top 30 or 25 actually here. Really good movie with Paul Giamatti and Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, he falls in love at his wedding, but not with his wife. And it's about, and again, that's just a good character piece on him, and it's funny, it's poignant. I've used one of my favorite scenes. There's a scene towards the end of the movie, I won't spoil it, but it's just between him and his wife that it just and it's just really good. I love Paul Giamatti. It's great seeing him too as a lead, but you don't get super often, I feel. So yeah, Barney's version. There's a shout out to a underseen gem of mine. Yeah, everyone in the chat, if you have any more honorable mentions, shout them out. But yeah, Jacob, any plugs, parting words?
Plugs. Tomorrow I will be taking on Zachary Shelton on a one-on-one ASAT. Easy difficulty. Yeah. Because I'm not very good. So I want to see what...
If they both don't get at least 15, more so I'm shooting for 18 to 20 out of 20, then something's wrong.
And if we don't, maybe we just have different... If we don't, then maybe we just have different definitions of what easy means. Yeah. Oh yeah, that'll be tomorrow. I believe 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then on Thursdays, check me and JPO out along with Austin Howell and Richie Goodacre over on the Lonely Marks Wrestling Podcast. We will be talking some Bad Blood, doing some predictions, and then whatever else comes up.
Stop abusing the fact that you're in the stream now, Tatum. Oh yes, you can find me here all the time. Here all the time. What the fuck am I talking about? Periscope is the main destination. We appreciate anyone that watched. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, we got more Diaz. Greg, and remember Soldier, Inside Out, Toy Story 3, Coco the Lobster. Hey, those are all good films. I got no problem.
I want to check that out.
Good one here. I think it's one of the more accessible ones from that guy, weirdly enough. I know Tato loves Poor Things, so he definitely would rate Poor Things number 1.
I'm a Poor Thing.
Like, subscribe, tell a friend, tell an enemy. Most of all, we love you more than you'll ever know. I wasn't ready, but now I am.
You hold it on your side, it's love. And if you strike out,